Welcome to this explainer. Okay, I want to kick things off right away by asking you a super direct and honestly, maybe a slightly uncomfortable question. Are you absolutely exhausted at the end of every single day, but your bank account barely budges? You know the feeling, right? You're sprinting on a treadmill, sweating, putting in crazy hours, but when you zoom out and look at your actual financial progress, you're literally standing in the exact same spot you were a year ago. Well, today, we're going to unpack exactly why that happens and, way more importantly, how to fix it by totally breaking down the illusion of activity. Let's get into it. So ask yourself this: are you actually productive or are you just busy? Really think about your own work habits for a second. We live in this world that absolutely glorifies the grind, right? We wear our exhaustion like this badge of honor. But listen, there is a massive difference between just doing things to keep your hands moving and doing the things that actually move the needle in your life. We're challenging that daily grind today. It all boils down to this core conflict of modern work: clearing emails versus building assets. Seriously, we've all been kind of tricked into thinking that firing off quick replies, hitting that mythical inbox zero, and reacting to literally everyone else's emergencies means we're successful. But the reality of wealth creation, it's vastly different. Wealth is built by creating assets, not by clearing out your spam folder. Section 1. The busy trap. Look, modern work culture fatally confuses mere activity with actual advancement. Activity just doesn't equal progress. It's the ultimate trap of the modern to-do list. You wake up, you jot down 20 tiny, insignificant little tasks, and you spend your entire day enthusiastically crossing them off. And hey, you feel great. You feel super active, but ticking off small, low-impact items doesn't mean you're moving forward. It just means you're really good at crossing things off a piece of paper.
Section 2. Your brain on small tasks.
So why do we actually do this? Well, it all comes down to productive procrastination, meaning doing small, totally meaningless tasks to feel a fake sense of accomplishment while actively dodging the important work. Your brain absolutely loves this trick. It's exactly why sitting down to write a business plan suddenly makes reorganizing your sock drawer feel like a life-or-death priority. It's a psychological trap. Our brains literally trick us into feeling successful when we're actually just hiding. And this kicks off a vicious cycle of dopamine addiction that totally hijacks your potential. Think about how it works. It starts with project anxiety. The big, important task is scary. So you pivot. You go answer some quick emails. Suddenly, boom, your brain rewards you with a fake dopamine hit. You feel accomplished. But the actual result? Zero real progress. You've essentially just medicated your anxiety with busy work. And what's the actual financial result of medicating your anxiety with that busy work? Zero. Yep. That is the exact amount of meaningful financial growth that typically comes from checking notifications, sorting files, and being constantly responsive all day. You could spend 10 hours a day doing that stuff, and at the end of the year, your net worth won't have grown by a single dime from those specific activities. Section 3. The price of comfort. So, if we know deep down that busy work results in zero wealth, why do we keep doing it? Well, because high-impact work is uncomfortable, it's uncertain, and honestly, it's risky. When you decide to finally start a business, or learn a complex new skill, or invest your money, you're stepping straight into the unknown. You might fail. You'll probably look a little foolish at first. And that discomfort is terrifying, so it drives us right back to the warm, cozy safety of our inboxes where we know exactly what to do. Every single day, we make a choice. It's the comfort of the known versus the risk of the important. Organizing your folders, safe. You know exactly how to do it, and you get immediate feedback that it's done. But starting something genuinely new, like creating content or building a product, that's messy. It's super intimidating. But here's the hard truth. If you never trade that comfort for the risk of the important, your financial situation is never going to change.
Section 4. High-impact wealth creation.
Okay, so if busyness inhibits wealth, what actually creates it? Well, we have to aggressively shift our energy away from those low-impact activities, checking notifications, organizing folders, answering routine emails, and push all that focus over to high-impact actions. I'm talking about starting a business, investing, creating content, building rare, valuable skills. Because this is where wealth is actually forged. But high-impact action requires real long-term thinking. Say in month 1, you learn a new skill. By month 6, you might start a business using it. But it might actually take until year 5 to truly build wealth. High-impact work absolutely requires delayed gratification. There is no instant dopamine hit here like you get from clearing an inbox. It takes patience, it takes consistency, and a real willingness to look past today. Section 5. Stop being just busy. Information is pretty much useless without application, so let's make this actionable for you today. Remember this core takeaway. Wealth is often created through high-impact actions, not constant activity. You really have to understand the absolute difference between sweating over the small stuff and actually building an empire. You can run around all day putting out tiny fires, or you can spend a focused 2 hours actually building a fireproof house. One just makes you tired. The other makes you rich.
I want to leave you with this final, genuinely provocative question. What high-impact task are you avoiding today? What is that one thing you know you should be doing, but you're hiding from it by doing the laundry, checking the news, or clearing out your email? I challenge you, right after this explainer ends, to log off, step away from the busy work, and finally tackle that uncomfortable work. Because at the end of the day, that is the only way to create true wealth. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.